Live now. Okay, welcome back to the channel. Today we're joined by an inspiring woman, Sarah Morgan Walker, a former Mrs. South Africa finalist who has an incredible story to share. In this interview, Sarah reflects on her pageant journey, the life lessons she walked away with, and how the Mrs. South Africa experience has shaped her as a mother, wife, business leader, advocate for women and youth wellness. Her story is powerful, authentic, and full of inspiration for anyone building confidence, purpose, and self-belief. How are you, Sarah?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
Ah, lovely. I'm so happy to actually catch up with you because I know you've been really busy and yeah, it's awesome, eh?
It has been a journey. I think I've done 15. I was just speaking to someone now on the phone. I think I've done 15 flights to Joburg this year.
15.
Yep.
Wow,
Yeah.
incredible.
I'd say about 10 of them were to do with Mrs. South Africa, but that journey opened other opportunities, and I've taken the bull by the horns, and every opportunity is happening.
Of course. All right. My opening question to you is now that the pageant has concluded, what stands out as the most memorable moment from your Mrs. South Africa 2025 journey?
Sure, there were a lot of very memorable moments. Do I have to choose one?
You can choose, you can say many.
Okay. So I think one of the very memorable moments was the day of prelims at Emperor's Palace. One of our contestants, one of the top 30, fell down the stairs and
Oh,
she couldn't compete that evening
mhm.
or the finale. I won't mention her name, but those that follow pageantry will know who I'm speaking about. And our year is known to be very strong, the year of 2025 from South Africa. But I didn't realize how strong we were until that moment. So we were in the middle of rehearsals, and pretty much everyone just stopped what they were doing and ran up to her to try and help her. And then so she sprained her ankle, so she couldn't compete. But the emotion that was attached to her not being able to be with us on the night of prelims and the night of finale was so deep. When her picture came up on the screen, as you know, when they're doing the introductions for the audience and everything, and then she wasn't there physically, there was such a deep sense of not lost because she wasn't gone, but just a member of our sisterhood not being there. And it was so refreshing to come across sisterhood that actually is true, not one of these fake sisterhood scenarios that you get nowadays, where you can actually feel in the heart that the ladies are really sisters and that we're in this together forever. I'm actually having my 40th in Cape Town next year with all of them.
Okay.
So we did a mini reunion. So yeah, I think the sisterhood in general is one of the most memorable things I can take away from the journey. What else? So on Lifestyle Challenge weekend, Lifestyle Challenge, for those who don't know, is a weekend where the top 30 get taken away to a place. This year it was Pont de Vaal in the Vaal. And we did 7 photo shoots in 3 days. So it's high adrenaline, but also very, very lots of work and lots of preparation. And there's also activities to do within your team. It's nonstop. You sleep for about 4 hours every night. Anyway, when I arrived at the venue, which had been sponsored, so obviously I couldn't complain or anything. I'd been put in a bunk bed.
Oh,
Yes. So at the age of 39, with 3 children, being married for 15 years, I was now to sleep on a bunk bed. So that was definitely a memorable moment. I was in a room with 4 ladies and they watched me cry over being put in a bunk bed. And I think it was just I still am yet to unpack why I cried and why it was such a big thing for me. It ended up being an amazing highlight for me because Manani, who's now one of my friends, she's a DJ on Jacaranda FM. She chose to sleep on the bunk beneath me. But it literally meant that I had to climb a ladder every night to go to sleep. And there's something symbolic in that for me. I can't quite find the words, but it was just, it was incredibly memorable. We laughed about it. We cried about it. I was the only one out of all 30 that had a bunk bed to sleep on. So that too was a bit like odd. But yeah, it was just, there's so many. I mean, I don't want to cry at all. I've done enough crying. But yeah, our year just really is an exceptional year. I've flown up to Joburg again since finale and done a photo shoot for Mrs. South Africa for their call to action for 2026 for participants to enter. And even though I didn't do what I wanted to do within this year, I would 100% say to someone, do it, because I have been upskilled on so many levels I cannot explain. My walking on ramp, my social media, my public speaking, and it's not by force. I don't want to say but it's, you're thrown in the deep end and you are given tools and you are given mentorship, but I think there are moments for me that will forever be memorable in terms of just having to wing it and coming out on the other side and actually saying, sure, but well done to myself.
Wow. What was the biggest lesson you learned about yourself throughout the competition, and how has it impacted your personal or professional life?
The biggest lesson I learned was that if I am doing something I love and I'm passionate about, I'm incredibly disciplined. So previously with my job, I did it, but it was always, I felt half of my heart was there. Whereas with pageantry, I can't put it into words. It's just something that excites me. I love the empowerment of women. I love the fact that there's a platform to advocate for what you believe in. So next year I'm going into men's mental wellness because I believe there is a space for that. In fact, there's not enough space for that. No one's ever allowed men to be vulnerable or given an option to cry, for example. Especially in South Africa, men all have to play sport and drink beer, and it's so last century. I'm like, oh, please, So yeah, there's exciting things going on in my life, and I think in terms of how it's impacted my life going forward is I've figured out what makes me happy, what drives me, and it excites me because I know that I'll do well because I'm disciplined about that.
All right. Pageants can be life-changing. How has this experience shaped your confidence, purpose, or perspective as a woman, mother, and leader?
It was life-changing. That is definitely for sure. It has definitely made me more understanding of how important it is to be present. Our cell phones are the biggest thief of time. I obviously understand that they are a necessity and how incredibly powerful they are in terms of your own brand and marketing and sales and getting the job done. But I also believe that there's a time for everyone to put your phone away. So I do try and implement that in my own family. It's also, this year really made me realize how important my family is. I think I took them for granted. I've got 3 daughters. The one is 3.5, so she's still, you don't get those moments back. And then 2 are teenagers, and my husband as well. I've taken a lot of that for granted, and I think it changed me in terms of my self-belief. So again, I didn't come where I wanted to in terms of top 10, but I know I can. And going forward, I'm excited about the opportunities that have come my way, because I believe in myself now.
Yeah, that's good. What part of the Mr. SA journey challenged you the most, and how did you overcome that challenge?
I think time was the biggest challenge. There is a lot of work that goes into the Mrs. South Africa journey. It obviously is, I think, the top pageant in South Africa. So once you've walked that stage on Mrs. South Africa, you can be proud of yourself. However, there is a lot of work that comes into it. Things like 2 social media posts a day, dependent on which sponsor you're posting for, which is dependent on how many sponsors Mrs. South Africa has. Just to create that content takes hours. So how I overcame it was I would dedicate one day with my mentor and my photographer. My mentor happened to be my makeup artist as well, so that helped. And I would just do lots of different outfits and lots of different looks with all of the products. So we'd get, I'd say on average, about 300 photos that day. And I'd use that to create my content. And then I'd be intentional about when my phone was put away, because I'd say the person that battled the most on this journey was my husband. And it wasn't because of jealousy or anything like that. It was because of time. We've always been intentional about being, the kids go to bed at a certain time so that our marriage then comes first and foremost. And, our cell phones can easily take over that time. So I was intentional about putting it away at a certain time. And then just scheduling my posts, I think. So on weekends, I would try to schedule my posts rather than actually post at the time, so that it didn't take me away from my family. But there is a lot that you can do to kind of navigate that.
How did participating in the pageant strengthen your passion for empowering women, supporting vulnerable mothers and babies, or advocating for the causes close to your heart?
It empowered, it reinforced my emotions around empowering women and youth, because I saw how many people showed up when I asked them to, and how many people said yes. I did get no's. I think that's natural. But it moved me to my core. Just KZN. The people here are unbelievable. Yes, I've been here for 39 years, so yes, I do know a substantial amount of people, but it was often actually people outside of my circle that showed interest. And even just this last Friday, I attended 2 events, one of which was KIBA, KZN International Business Association, a year-end function event. And the people I met there, and they have been following my journey, and I don't even know them. And they just kept on saying, you've been so inspiring to me. So to know that people are watching me on social media helps me to get out of bed in the morning, show up, put my best foot forward. I do it anyway for my girls and because of my religion, because all I can do is, show up, put my best foot forward, and be the person I'm supposed to be. But yeah, it was uplifting, and it strengthened me because it's also opened up other areas that I see needs attention, like men's mental wellness. So yeah, as much as it's empowered me in believing in empowerment of women and youth, I do believe I've been called to other areas enough, and I will serve those areas as best I can.
Before I get to my final question, are you okay taking a live comment question here?
Yes, of course.
All right, this is from Jitin Rishika. Hi, Sarah. Now that the pageant has concluded, will you still continue your duties at other charities that you are involved with?
Thank you for the question. Yes, of course I will. So our first safe house was already opened on Ananda Road. It's called the Lighthouse. If anyone would like to get involved there, it's a safe house for women. Then I am already in talks of opening my second safe house. It's out on Belito side. So I'm involved with the safe houses. I'm also involved with SACA, the South African Animal Cancer Association, and I will continue to support them. I also will continue to support the official sponsors of Mrs. Africa, as well as my own personal sponsors, to say thank you until the end of the year at least, because I believe that's the right thing to do. But also my heart is with the charities that I chose. That is where my heart is. And I don't have to prove that to anyone, because the people around me know that. They know exactly what my heart is and what it stands for. And I spend a fair amount of time, and I always have done, this is nothing new, dedicated to those causes. So, I mean, I've been teaching in Mulwini, underprivileged children, for 4 years. I've been teaching art and basic English skills. I don't talk about it because it's not something I've been brought up to do. But since we're talking about it now, yeah. So it is, yes, I will continue to do that.
All right. Finally, looking back, what advice would you give to future Mrs. South Africa contestants who hope to walk the same path you've walked?
It's a good question. I would say something along the lines of take it in your stride and keep the balance. Don't burn out, because it is exciting. Generally, you want to people please on the platform. You want to tick all those boxes. You want to hashtag. You want to do it all. But it is a very long journey. It's 9 months. It is like a marathon. It's not like other pageants. So if we're talking about just the Mrs. South Africa pageant in itself, which it's really not a pageant, but anyway, it's more of a journey. I would say pace yourself. That's the words I'm looking for. Pace yourself. Be strict with get a diary if you don't have one. Be strict with making sure there's focus time, priorities, family time to exercise. Make sure that you've got your groceries in the cupboard and in the pantry, and you've cooked your meals. And understand that if you're going to enter, you are going to want to, it gets competitive. Even though there's a sisterhood, it gets competitive. So just prepare and pace yourself.
Wow. All I got to say, thanks so much for your time, and as usual, look forward to catching up with you soon in the future.
So thank you so much. I really enjoyed it, and have a wonderful Christmas if we don't speak before then. And I will chat to you soon.
Likewise.
Thanks so much.